So here's my book. I just got the regular dollar composition books. You can probably get these at the dollar store too. When you decorate them, make sure your inside is facing the right way. So here's my front, and then there's my back. I just put a stamp on the back. And then this is actually a different composition. As you can see, the inside is different. So let's get started on making this. I did the paper that I used is from the Twitter Pated collection. And then I also used the Twitter Pated fabric. So here's one side of it. I chose this side because I wanted to make my flower. I used the biggest circle, and in the video I'll put a link to show you how to make these. So it's 2 1/3, I think, for the biggest circle, for the circle 2 die, which is still current, thank goodness. And then the paper here, and actually I think it's a little too big. I'll have to, you know what? Make sure when you get your notebooks, some of them are all different sizes. Here's a different one that I think I matched it up to. Okay, so then you know, like when you're measuring, you have exactly the measurements you need. Okay, so let's stamp on these first before we put them on. Just in case you make a mistake, which I don't know what you're going to do if you make a mistake. To do that whole ensemble of purse, notebook, and desk post-it, it takes about 2 sheets of designer paper. You'll have a little bit left over, but not much. So for the front piece, I just want to go about, maybe a third way up, because what I want to do is put my piece down. And actually, you know what, didn't press hard enough in the middle, but maybe it will give it a little vintagey look since it's not a full press on. So what I'm going to try and do is duplicate that and not make the next one as sharp an image, because I want it to look uniform. I don't want it one to be brighter than the other, which that is a little bit, but that's okay. It looks all right. I love this little, I'm going to do the back too. I'm just going to put one right on the back. I love this little scroll. I use this quite a bit. This is from the Everything Eleanor set. Just going to put one right there. Yeah. Alrighty. So let's decorate our front first. Let's bring it in our notebook. Make sure I got it fitting good. Okay. I'm going to use my Tombow glue. I'm just going right up to the edge of the black. I'm going to run a piece straight down my paper. I just don't want it to go, I don't want to go too far because I am leaving the black as my border. So I can, I think it just defines it nicely. And then you can bring in your other coordinating colors with the black. Black goes with everything. So let's see. Okay. And so I'm just going to run one strip right up the edge just to make sure my edges are not going to flap up on me. All right. Like I said, make sure you have this all going the right way. And then make sure that's facing the way you want it before you go and put this down. I tend to use my Tombow just because it's easier to reposition, because then you can slide your paper a little bit easier. Let me make sure I have all my corners and everything covered. Perfect. I'm just going to hold it there for a sec. I have a little bit leaking out the side, but that's good because I don't want this piece to come up. You know, I don't want any of it to come up, so I think this will be good. Okay. I'm going to let that dry. We're going to go in and cut off our little corners here. Now for this piece, I'm going to make sure I have it up the right way. Yep. Do the same thing. So hard to see on the books, I know, because it's black with white glue and black speckles and white speckles, and find it easier just to cover the book instead of the paper. Okay, and then like same thing, I'm just going to put a strip of glue right along the edge. Okay. There we go. Looking good. So for this book, it was like a little smaller than 9 3/4 this way. And then I did this 7 1/4. But like I said, make sure you measure your own books, because each book I think are different. You know, you always have to cut off a little smidge here and there. If you have your paper hanging over, there's a possibility that it will, you know, detach from your what do you call it, from the book. So let me get my scissors. Where are my little scissors? Oh, here they are. I'm just clipping off because this, and you'll notice I tried using a round corner rounder, but these books are not even cut at a certain, they're just kind of like machine cut. They're not really a perfect corner, so just take your scissors to it instead. All right, there we go. Now what we're gonna do is decorate. That's the best part, right? This is gonna go, actually before I put this on, I usually put my notes on. I have a little piece of glue that I'm gonna get off. So before it gets too sticky with black from inks and all that, I just want to get it off a little bit. Okay, so I cut out with the alphabet from the, I forget which one it is, but I did N, let me see, T, and you want to get out your, oops, S is going the wrong way, your 2A glue pen, because I did use that on this, an O and an E. Okay. All right. And I start with my middle one just because I want to make sure that I have it even straight across. Oh, this one's all dried up. Let me grab another one. Let's try this one. Much better. Okay, so I just kind of start in the middle, and I'm basically just lining it up with the edge of my notebook. Make sure they're even. Let's see, because my N and my O actually are kind of big. Okay, let's do my E. Alright, I'm going to finish up the rest of this off the camera, but you get the idea. Just put your notes all the way across. Okay, so I've finished up my notes, and then we're going to now add on our border. So this is a 1 1/4 by 7 1/4. And I'm just going to put that on with regular adhesive. Okay. Make sure it's even before I press it down. Okay. Now for this scalloped edge, I use this little guy right here, which is from this set, which is 2 in there. They're the Textured Impressions Delicate Designs Embossing folders. Now you'll notice that this folder doesn't fit all the way across, so I have to do it in 2 pieces, and that's where my trusty flower comes in place, because actually we'll be placing it right over the seam. So that's my little trick for you for this book. And then, so what I did, I ran it through, and then all I did was I took, this is my second little piece, I just took my scissors to it and just cut. Whoop. try and do a nicer job than I just did because you want it to look even. And so I'm gonna probably cut this down. I mean, I don't really want to overlap too much just because I don't want to have too bulky, but probably something like that. And you want to make sure you match up your scallop just because you don't want to go over too far. Then your flower won't be kind of off to the side. Unless you want it in the middle, you guys can do that too. And let's see, where's my adhesive? Okay, like I said, I put on a lot just because I want to make sure that my embossed area will be, you know, sticking well. Alright, and then this is going to go like this. Let's see, like that. I'll just cut that off afterwards just to make sure I have enough. Whoa, I'm ripping up the paper. That's weird. Let me pull this off here. Okay. Alright. Have that stuck, and like I said, I'm just going to do one of these and cut. Simple. Then you know it's going to be long enough. Alright. So now what we'll do is I'm going to put on my flower just because I want to cover up my little seam. And it's going to go like this. I'm going to take my hot glue gun. Just so you know it's going to stick for you. So there we go. I might just try and push it up just a tad so I can see the E. Yeah. Okay. So then I use here I'm going to bring in this little purse that we've already done. I just want to duplicate and have my, what do you call it? The glitter paper. And I used, for the bigger flower, now I use the 3/4 inch. And I'm just going to hot glue that into place too. Just trying to get it so it's evenly, so it's touching, the hot glue is touching my fabric. And then what I'll do is I will, just waiting for it to cool. I'm gonna bring in, this is the 3/4 inch circle. And I'm gonna do that in Riding Hood Red. I'm gonna, I find when you stick to your glitter paper, you need either, what do you call it? Sticky strip. Because I found that my regular two-way glue or liquid glue doesn't stick as well. But since my hot glue gun is out, I'm going to take advantage. Oops, look at that. I got too many stringies. I'll fix that afterwards. And then I'm just going to take this little, and this I can use with my two-way glue pen, so, because it's sticking paper to paper, not to glitter paper. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I have. Straighten that out. There, my flower's done. So now let's just decorate our little pieces going up. I just use the itty bitty. I'm going to cover that up. I use the itty bitty punches. I don't know. I'm just fiddling around. Maybe you can do that over it. Yeah, that looks cute. Alright. Yeah, I like getting a little glitter in there. I think it adds some glitz. And then I'm also going to put some down here. So probably put that there. Let's see here. This can go. Yeah, I don't like that one. Put this one over here. Okay. Alright, well let me just stop putting some of these on because I think we'll get a better idea of how we want to go about it. So I'm just going to use this again. I think this will work a lot better than your tape runner. I have a feeling this is going to come squirting out too much on me. There we go. That one. Okay, so this is what I ended up with. I just ended up putting on these little doodads, and I think I'm done with this. I think it has too much glitter actually, but we're gonna keep it. You could even add maybe a little bit of glitter onto this too, just to kind of match it. But I'm gonna keep it like it is, and I thank you for joining me, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Bye-bye.